What's going on, YouTube? It's another Wednesday night. Another time for another blog, another video. Hope you like the videos. Hope you subscribe, share, comment. But most of all, I hope you get something out of them that helps you with your walk with God. Because that's all it's about. It's our walk with God, and our relationship with Him. So tonight, the video is labeled Thorn in My Flesh. And we're going to read from 2 Corinthians 12, 7 through 10. And a little background, Paul's talking to the church of Corinth in a letter, right? And so let's just start reading. At least I should exalt above measure through the abundance of the revelations. There was given to me a thorn in my flesh, the messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, or 3 times, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, My grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, I will rather glorify in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in my infirmities, in reproach, in necessity, in persecution, in distresses for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. So, what does it mean? I mean, to me, this really touches me. I mean, this really speaks to me, and he, has real revelations in this. And as far as Paul, a lot of people dispute on what this thorn in his flesh was. Was it a physical ailment? Was it a disease? Was he crippled? Was he blind? Was he, I'm not here to debate about that, right? I know when I hear these verses, like I said, it touched me deeply, right? Because to me, I got thorn in my flesh, right? And, in this it says, a messenger of Satan to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure. So whatever Paul's thorn was, I don't know. But I know for me, thorn in my flesh, it's the shame. It's the guilt of the things I've done in my past, things I will do, things I'm doing right now, that, are the reason why my Lord and Savior hung on that cross, And he wasn't ashamed to do so, And what do I mean by that? I mean, every time I go to try to do a video, or I am told to do something by God, or I want to speak to somebody about God, I get this little voice from Satan saying, why would they believe you? Look at your past. Look at the things you've done. Look at the things you're capable of. Why you? Why would anybody want to hear from you? Why would God want to speak through you? And to me, that's my thorn in my flesh. I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to go through everything I've done in my past right now. But, to say that someone I know would see these videos and look at it and say, oh, yeah, right. That guy is, is terrible. I mean, the sad thing about it is, there's a thief on the cross next to Jesus, and he asked for forgiveness, and God said, or Jesus said, this day I'll see you in glory. And he was saved right then. For that guy, he lived all his life not knowing God, doing whatever he wanted to, and was saved. But he was far better than I, because I've lived most of my life knowing God, and I've done these things. I've done these things that have put him on that cross. It was for me that he got on that cross, and he willingly did so, that I might be saved. And so I've asked God, take away this shame, take away this guilt, take away this feeling of just sadness in my heart of what I've done to the one I love, my Lord and Savior, right? And take it away that I might be more bold for you, God. And he tells me the same as he did Paul. He says, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. God's strength is made perfect in my weakness. He's saying, you know what? I didn't choose you because you were perfect. And if you were perfect, or if I took this away, you might sit there and think you're too holy or whatever else. You might get a big head, and you might go judge people. You might go do everything else, that I don't want you to do. How can you be a witness for me if you're gonna be a judge when it's not your place? Is what he tells me. And so he says, I'm not taking it from you, but what I want you to do is I want you to tell others about your weakness. Because if they can save you, then in other words, if they can save me, if he can save me, then he can surely save you. Okay? So if you see this video and you know me, if he can save me, he can surely save you. I promise you this. And my hope is for this, right? God puts, people in the Bible throughout for that same reason. He didn't choose them because they were perfect. He chose them as examples that, hey, you might be going through something similar, and if God can save that person, he can surely save you. You see, like I said, I'm not debating about Paul's infirmity, but Paul, he took and he persecuted the Christians. He put them to death. He stood and watched them die for the love of their Jesus, the one that died on the cross for them. And Paul ended up doing the same thing. But I feel like if I was in his place, my infirmity would be simply this: that I went and I hated the one that I ended up loving so much, I put his people to death. Think about it. How many times do you think someone walked up to Paul? I don't believe you. I remember when you killed so and so. Had them put to death for their love for God. So I could totally correlate in that fact of being held back by this sin and shame, by a thorn in my flesh. But what I want you to know most of all is, regardless of anything you've ever done, God's saying his grace is sufficient for you. Just choose life, choose God, choose to come to him, choose salvation. And I pray this for you today, right? I pray that if you know God, that you grow deeply closer to him. That your relationship with him is, face to face, as it was with Moses. That you would speak to him face to face. But you would have love and reverence for him. And if you don't know God, I pray that this might move you to say, you know what, I want to know God. I want to know everything about him, because this sounds great. It sounds like the thing that would fill the hole in my heart that I've been trying to fill with everything else. The thing that would save me. The thing that would complete me and give me meaning in my life. So, once again, I hope you have a great week. If you have any questions, definitely comment. I will do my best. I'm sure with how many subscribers I got, I'll get back to you. If you comment at me, I will get back to you. So, have a good week. Just love Jesus, and I'll see you next week.